Get back! Get back! We're back, you fucking idiot! We're back! Get back! Shut the fuck up! Get back! Get back! Get the fuck off him! Get the fuck off him!
Shame on you! You're going to fucking live! This is our land! Your entire fucking family is gonna be wiped off the fucking registry! You don't have any fucking friends left, you fucking terrorist! You like that? You like watching your fucking husband and brother die? That's why you're fucking born, you disgusting fucking women! How fucking dare you document this? Fuck you!
I don't know if any of you saw it, but if you saw this picture of our Liberty Bell being defaced the way it was by these so-called pro-Palestinian Hamas protesters, let me say something to you. First of all, you've never moved a needle in any area a day in your life. All you do is spend a bunch of time destroying things everywhere because the only thing that you are good at is listening to your father, the devil. You are an insult and you are a disgrace to people like me and my family, whose mom and dad were born and raised in Egypt and immigrated into this country lawfully, thankful for the blessing that God has given us. You are an embarrassment. It is absolutely disgusting. I have one message for you. Do me this favor, and it is a heartfelt message. Leave this country. If you don't like the things that this country stands for, leave. And do me a bigger favor, especially if you're part of the Alphabet Mafia. Move to Gaza. Go over there and spend some time over there. Or better yet, go to Saudi Arabia. Go to certain areas in the Middle East where they'll be very warm and welcoming of you. Maybe the Sudan. But stop insulting the very thing that we hold precious and valuable. You're not moving the needle. All you're doing is destroying everything around you. You've never built anything a day in your life, and you never will if you continue doing this nonsense. Get over it. And by the way, one more statement coming from a pastor who loves God with all of his heart. God is going to judge you. God is going to judge you in ways you cannot even imagine. You will never be able to get away with messing with his chosen people, ever, ever. God is going to deal with you harshly. Repent.
Kamala Harris knows what she needs to do. I was there. I gave her all of the policies that she needed. All of them. And she refused to implement them. She does not care about you. She does not care about the safety of this country. He does. This is the man for the presidency.
Thank you. Wow. So we're clear, this is an insurrection. And this is not. Their sole goal is to destroy our country. Best believe.
Quote, border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris,
to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
The media got caught. This right here, 2021 and 22, Kamala Harris was the border czar. It's a montage of them lying, saying she wasn't the border czar, and them saying she was. Here, take a look.
Okay.
Do you have any plans to visit the border?
I'm here in Guatemala today. At some point, you know, we are going to the border. We've been to the border. So this whole thing about the border, we've been to the border. We've been to the border.
You haven't been to the border.
And I haven't been to Europe. And I mean, I don't understand the point that you're making.
Quote unquote border czar. Vice President Harris was not a border czar.
Meantime, Vice President and border czar Kamala Harris facing some backlash.
What he said about Harris and immigration was not true. She was never appointed border czar.
And this will be her first visit to the U.S.-Mexico border region since she was appointed as the border czar by President Biden.
People gonna have to counter the misinformation. You already hear folks talking about the border czar. She wasn't the border czar.
President Biden tapped Kamala Harris, Vice President Kamala Harris, to be the border czar.
Now, she wasn't the border czar. That's what Republicans labeled her.
They were very critical of Kamala Harris, especially in her role as border czar.
Now what she's up against is folks lying about her border record, calling her a border czar.
Kamala Harris, who was appointed as the border czar.
The Biden team didn't declare her the border czar. They wanted her to work on kind of the root causes of immigration.
There has been so much criticism against Kamala Harris. You know, she was the border czar.
Calling her sort of the border czar, which wasn't necessarily the case.
So the border, if they weren't planning to address it in a major way, do not make her your border czar. She met with some of the Northern Triangle countries, but nothing has effectively changed.
You see?
Are you aware, sir, that many Americans believe this was very likely not a lone shooter, but a coordinated assassination attempt? Have you been getting those messages from people like I have?
I have not, sir.
You haven't? Well, there's a lot of people in this room that have been getting the same messages. Why do you think that is? Why do you think that a lot of Americans are like, this doesn't add up, this doesn't make sense, guys? How could this many things have gone wrong? Right? Like the things I pointed out, a 20-year-old kid, got 150 yards of the President of the United States with an AR-15, flew a drone to conduct site surveillance, was spotted with a rangefinder ranging targets, then lost, had advanced explosive devices on him with no military training. Nobody was placed in the most obvious spot to conduct counter-sniper operations. I was a sniper in the SEAL teams, Colonel. As soon as I got out of the SUV and I saw that that water tower, I was like, that's exactly where I'd be. Put me right there. So obvious. After partisan attempts to bankrupt him, imprison him for 750 years and countless depictions as a modern day Hitler, are you surprised, sir, that a lot of Americans are like, maybe there's more to this story?
I wouldn't begin to speculate about what the American people think, sir.
Colonel, did your team make entry and conduct investigation at the suspect's home prior to this shooting?
Excuse me, sir? I've asked that question.
Did your team make entry and conduct any investigation at the suspect's home?
I believe we had people that participated in that securing of it. There were bomb assets that we provided.
Mr. Chairman, can I have 30 more seconds?
Yeah, I'm letting everybody count.
Okay.
On the night of. Since then, none.
Did you get any reports from any of your agents of anything fishy at the home?
I was briefed on.
Was there any silverware found in the home or trash?
I have nothing in the briefing that I was given, sir.
Was it extremely clean, almost like a medical lab? Were you given any of those reports?
I wasn't giving any of those details, sir.
Okay, that's what I'm hearing. Interesting.
Today, Satan, let me tell you something. If I want to bring my Bible to school, don't mean you can't bring your Quran and your watchtower. That's why the United States have a constitution, boo. It's called freedom of religion. So don't think that because I want to practice my freedom of rights, you can't practice yours. I don't understand this anyway, separating church from state. God created law. He gave it to man, so how you gonna take him out of something he created? Before there was America, there was Moses. Understand that. Yes, pay your taxes, do what you're supposed to do, but God is supposed to be at the center of our country and in the hearts of our leaders, boo. Period. Then we wonder why we so powerless, because we took out our power. God said, turn back to your first true love, or I'm going to come out and put out your lunch there. We all fixing to sit in the dark. It ain't going to matter what bills we can afford. Keep on playing with God. This is his land. What he created is his. Everything is in him, and everything is him. Period. No matter whatever you feel, it don't matter, boo. It's not about feelings, it's facts. Our lives was bought for a price. Remember that. And there's not a disconnect fee or reconnection fee that can get your lights back on when God come and put it out, baby. I promise you that.
When I had COVID last time, when Mama had it and she was in the hospital, I took this medicine. It's Paxlovid. Adverse reaction. Literally thought I was going to die. And I didn't finish taking it because it was terrible. I think that I remember I couldn't. I couldn't. I had no energy level. My breath was shallow. I couldn't breathe, and just could not do it. It took me 45 minutes to get in bed because I was laying on the floor with pee, and I sat there. I conserved energy, and I put Prissy on the bed. So I'm like, so then I had to lay down on the floor for another 45 minutes, and then, okay, here's the plan. I'm gonna stand up real fast and jump in the bed. Adverse reaction. So I get sick this time around. You need to take it. No? My dad's like, you need to take it, man. I'm like, just take it. I don't think you'll have the same reaction. Just take it. It's fine. I'm taking it. No. Just take it. He tried to force it down my throat. Figuratively. Because if he did it literally, I would have slapped his hand. No. I'm not taking something that I felt like I was going to die. Like, literally thought I was going to die. I was surprised I woke up. I'm like, oh man. I didn't die. It was awful. Awful. But nobody wanted to go to the store today, so they sent me.
Oh, hell no, they got us Americans fucked up. Excuse me?
Damn, Iron Man.
Listen, let me tell you something. Y'all better not burn our American flag no more. Because we ain't playing with y'all, huh? I'm serious. I'm sick of this shit. I feel like that shit is a whole ass disrespect in everybody's face. Black Americans and white Americans and anybody in between that fought in our Civil War, that lost their lives, baby, to set us free. Period. I don't give a damn what's going on. How the hell y'all gonna attack us by burning our flag, but got a problem with our government? We got a problem with that motherfuckers too. Boo-boo the fool. Like, what the hell is going on? Y'all not gonna fix it and step in our lives and take attacks towards us when we got a problem with these people too. We see what the hell they doing, boo. Why the hell you think we so damn mad? So burning our flag is an attack towards Americans, not America. Your problem is with the Democrats. They sat up there and funded both sides of this with blue faces, boo. You better understand what the hell going on. Because black people and white people will connect together and shut all this shit down. What's good? The hell's going on? We'll go back tomorrow and fight over white people wearing braids. But today, we're going to handle business. They're my cousins. We was born on this land. Do you understand? Or do you need to fuck around and find out? The hell, we'll take y'all ass to Baddies East out this bitch. Somebody call now and number. Playing with these damn motherfuckers. They done lost their damn mind. Got me all riled up. I'm ready to get in the ring with these bitches there.
This is for all my Kamala girlies. Can you tell me one thing that you like about her that she's done that is not being Donald Trump and has nothing to do with her gender or her skin color?
Kamala Harris done locked up more black folks than the American masters that captured slaves. Comedy purposes only, TikTok. Y'all better do y'all damn research on that girl. Look what happened with Obama. I'm not voting for race and what you was born as in Timo. She offered first-time offenders, people that don't have real violent crime, some bogus-ass deal where they have to admit to guilt because they can't afford a lawyer, get a fresh-ass felony, a low-crime felony, and complete all of the requirements for the program, and they'll be removed from their records. 1,500 people was locked up for smoky smoke charges. Then turn around and laugh in an interview for smoking the smoky smoke. It don't surprise me. She doesn't go to cookouts. She goes to country clubs. Besides, what's her damn plan besides being a woman and being black? What is she fixing to do? It's what I want to know. Don't worry, I won't hold my breath though. Join my live. Let's talk about it.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'm here to tell you why the shooting of President Donald Trump yesterday, without a doubt in my mind, was a planned and coordinated attack on the president inside our government, our local agency, or police force. Here's why. My name is Matthew Murphy, and I am a retired Green Beret, retired from the Special Forces Group, but I'm also a level 1 sniper, which means that I have graduated the highest level of training for snipers that you can do in special operations. We're trained, I'm going to avoid confidential or classified terminology. We're trained in assassinations and counter assassinations for the very reason, case in point, yesterday, the shooting of President Donald Trump. So, first of all, anywhere the president's going to go, there are teams from the Secret Service that go out days, if not weeks, if not months, before the president will ever be at that spot. And they do a site security assessment. And they do that with the local police forces and agencies to ensure that every potential security threat or vulnerability is secured and, of course, protected against. Now, this is done way before Donald Trump will ever get there, and they know every place that the president will be, and the sniper team especially is responsible for ensuring that no one can take a shot at the president. Now, that does not mean that the sniper team just sets up with their guns and scans the crowd and shoots. No, what they do, the most important thing they do pre-Donald Trump showing up, is within a 360-degree environment of that podium of the president, they ensure that there is not a place that is open that will be accessible by someone with a rifle to take a shot at the president. So they make sure those places are barricaded off, inaccessible, and heavily guarded, so there is no way you are going to get to the place where you could even shoot the president with a rifle before the president shows up. Then they scan the crowd and those places of the rifle just in case by some miracle you do. Now, you're not going to tell me, I don't care who you are, don't listen to the media, nonsense anyways, I think most of us know that by now, that some 20-year-old kid that looks like he played Dungeons and Dragons in his mom's basement is trained on a gun, especially a sniper rifle like that, is a registered Republican, and then can access anywhere near the vicinity of that crowd, of that event, with him not dressed in a uniform and that sniper rifle. He was wearing American flag t-shirt and pants, and he had a rifle. You're going to tell me that that kid went through all the levels of security, somehow got into the closest building to the president, then accessed the rooftop of the closest building to the president, then had the time to unpack his rifle, lay down in the prone, and then take 5 to 8 well-aimed shots at the president before he was decisively engaged by the Secret Service's counter sniper teams or a local police department. I don't know who they were, most likely police. You're going to tell me all that happened and a 20-year-old kid did that without it being heavily planned, coordinated, and people on the inside making it happen? There's absolutely no way possible that that kid was able to get up there and take those shots at the president without a lot of internal help. So someone in that local, or some people inside that local police department, agencies, or Secret Service is compromised and is a threat to our president. So we need to stop worrying about that damn shooter and start worrying about who allowed this shit to happen. And President Trump, if you need an American to protect you who's actually good at sniping and stopping this crap, give me a call. I'll do it for free. Everybody have a good day. God bless.
Sir, I see you putting the American flag there. Just
Yeah.
wondering why you're doing that.
So I'm an American citizen. I'm proud of my country, and I don't like the fact that the flags are taken down.
And where are you from?
Originally from Kansas, but I live in Virginia now.
Okay, so we're just happened to be visiting D.C. today, or?
No, I lived in the D.C. area.
Okay.
I was in the government for a long time and served for many years, including the prior administration and the FCC. And I love this country and everything it stands for.
Yeah, I mean, the protests that happened here a couple hours ago, they laid a lot of destruction here. A lot of things were spray painted and whatnot. A lot of graffiti. Could you give us your opinion on your reaction to seeing all this graffiti right in the nation's capital at Union Station?
I'm as strong a believer in the First Amendment as you'll ever find, but I also do not like the fact that our nation's capital has been defaced and defiled in certain ways, and in particular the flag being taken down. So I thought the least I could do is take the one flag that I could move from my house and bring it here to make sure that the Star-Spangled Banner still waves over the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Wow, so you actually, you saw what was going on and you decided to take that flag from your house and put it up here.
I did, yeah. I mean, I saw it on social today, occasionally when I was checking during the work hours, and I'd like to bike around the city, and just thought, you know what, I want to bike by and show my support for the United States, country I love, and make sure that the flag is still waving, so people know that there are still some citizens in this country who really believe in it and the ideal of America.
Would you be willing to share your opinion of, or your reaction to Trump being shot in the ear? And all that unfolding, what was your reaction to that whole scale of events as you found out?
Oh, political violence in any form whatsoever is not acceptable in this country, period.
Yeah, we have a lot of, there's people on the left that have, spoken out against the shooting and all political violence. And then there's some that are frustrated that the shooter missed the main part of the head, and didn't get a kill shot in. How do you feel about the latter?
All I can say is that I consistently hold out hope that President Lincoln's admonition that we find the better angels of our nature wins out. And I think most people of goodwill feel that way too. Regardless of politics, that violence is never the answer in the United States.
If you had a chance to speak directly with President Trump, what would you say to him?
To anybody, I would just say, look, political violence is not acceptable. That's not the way we resolve things in this country. And to any candidate of any party, I just hope that they always live up to the ideals that this country was founded upon.
And what has made you feel so passionately, so patriotic about this country?
Well, my parents moved to this country in 1971. I was born in the United States in 1973. They came with $8 and a transistor radio and a belief in the American dream. And within one generation, their son, me, I was appointed by President Obama to be a commissioner of the FCC, and then 4 years later, President Trump appointed me as the chairman of the FCC. And it's just kind of a testament to the fact that in America, there's wide open opportunity, and that regardless of who you are, what your name is, where you come from, what you look like, this is a land where you can reach your highest potential. And that's something that I think most Americans do not take for granted, and it's really important to me to pass on to my children and all young people that this is a unique place, and it's atypical across countries and across history.
We've seen people in the media, particularly more on the left and the right, because both sides are really saying that we need to tone down the violent rhetoric. With that in mind, and if you agree with that, what would you say to some of the protesters here if you could speak to them and they were in a mood to be heard, in a mood to hear you?
Well, I didn't see the protests themselves, all of them, so I don't know. I just saw an alert from the Capitol Police that on Twitter that apparently some of the protests were getting violent. And I would simply hope that as they exercise their First Amendment right, which of course I support 100%, that people do respect the laws of the country and the norm against violence of any kind.
Well, I think I speak for a lot of Americans who are very happy that you came here and brought your flag here and put it up here after seeing a lot of destruction today. So thank you for that.
No, I really appreciate it, and I just want to do my small part, my tattered flag from my yard, to make sure that this country is seen as a shining light on the hill, just as President Reagan said all those many years ago.
I'm sure it definitely speaks volumes. So thank you for your time.
Absolutely, thank you.
Took the American flag down. They were writing Hamas on the bell outside of Union Station. What does a Donald Trump do if he takes office to these people on the street?
Rarely have we seen anything like this, and I think you should get a 1-year jail sentence if you do anything to desecrate the American flag. Now, people will say, oh, it's unconstitutional. Those are stupid people. Those are stupid people that say that. We have to work in Congress to get a 1-year jail sentence when they're allowed to stomp on the flag and put lighter fluid on the flag and set it afire. And when you're allowed to do that, you get a 1-year jail sentence and you'll never see it again. And all over the world, Putin and President Xi of China, all over the world, they're watching this. Kim Jong-un, he looks at us like we're a bunch of babies. They see that. That wouldn't happen in their countries. It's impossible for that to happen in their country. Where we look so bad to the world. That was a disgraceful display yesterday.
Now that's what I'm talking about.